was fast asleep in the middle of the large bed. Looking at her like this, she still seemed as innocent as a child. The fate of our clan rests upon this body. Thinking that, I felt my chest warm up a bit. When I gently stroked her cheek, the queen opened her eyes.
Your Majesty.
Realizing it wasn't the king, the queen's body stiffened terribly.
Good evening, Your Majesty. I am Vila. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
I said as gently as I could, while I could see the queen perfectly. She seemed to have trouble seeing in the dark. This was convenient. Until the end of the mating moon, I would not show my face. The queen was extremely frightened. Think of me as the king, I said, and the queen obediently called me her king. She must have quite a complying personality. For the first time I felt a desire to make her the kind of woman the king would truly love. After meeting a few times, the queen seemed to take quite an interest in me. She couldn't help but be curious about my face. I too began to feel something like affection for the queen. She completely trusted me and entrusted her body to me.
Her body, which reacted obediently to my touch, was adorable. The king seemed to think so too. He didn't seem to mind holding the queen. Good.
The king has taken a liking to the queen. Between the queen and me, a sort of trust had been born for me. It was an ideal relationship. It would be troublesome if the queen loved me, but feeling nothing at all would be lonely. I wanted her to care about me, even if just a little. The mating moon was approaching. The queen seemed relatively calm. I felt relieved. I was anxious about whether we would get through the month safely. Even though I attended to other women, I couldn't help but think about the queen. During the first mating moon, the queen became pregnant. It was a very joyous event, but then tragedy struck. I was informed that the queen had passed away. Later I learned that it wasn't the queen's body, which brought me relief. But I can never forget the pain I felt at that moment. What saddened me most was not the loss of the child, but the thought that the queen herself was no longer in this world.
Why wasn't I by her side at that time? I had indeed grown quite fond of the queen. If I could, I would always want to be by your side, watching over you.